Right, so today, again, we're going to do another new style of video. We're going to start doing, I don't know if you'll be into it, but we're going to try some how-to videos. So today, this is my sister's car. How to change an alternator on a Honda CRV 2.2. And we'll get to the reason why we think the alternator's gone. And basically, you know, if anyone has the same problem, they can watch this and find out. Just going to get over here and open the bonnet. Let us know if you like this style video as well. But if you don't and you're into just the building side of things, don't unsubscribe. Should be fun. So, it's down there somewhere. You can't even see it yet.
Right guys, so before we roll up our sleeves and get to work, let's just make sure we have the right tools. So what we're going to need is a socket set, a new spanner set, a new alternator, and if you want you can use safety gear like gloves and goggles.
Before I start taking it apart, I'll show you the reason why I think it's the alternator gone. You know, a bad sound this. Hear that? So that's actually quite quiet for what it's been doing. When you were revving it, it seemed to cut out, and then your battery lights would come on, and that's when you were literally running on the car's battery. So it nearly cut out a few times, but you can hear that. So I think that is the alternator pulley, which has got a clutch in it. So I think the clutch side of the pulley is breaking down, and it's just like free spinning. But either way, it's either buy a pulley and try and just fit that, or just buy the alternator. So I've bought the alternator. So here's the alternator, and I'll show you where I got it from as well. I'm going to knock this off because it's loud, but that's the problem. Sounds disgusting.
So if it's your first time buying a part for your car, you may be a little bit nervous as to whether you're going to buy the right part for the make and model of your vehicle. So I'm quickly going to show you how we get the exact parts for the cars we have. Now, we always use a company called GSF Car Parts. They're not a sponsor of ours, they're just our go-to and our favourite part supplier in the UK.
So these are the people we use. We've got an account with them. It's called GSF Car Parts, and they're nationwide. It's a brilliant company, to be honest. So here you can see, you put in your car reg. Oscar Echo 57 Bravo Victor November. Press search, and it comes up with Honda CRV 2.2. Find parts. Alternator right there. There's a WAI alternator, which is a brand new unit, no surcharge, for 208 quid, including the VAT. But anyway, I've got an account with these, and it's only a cash account. It's not anything special. I don't spend thousands with them. And I rung them up and I asked them about this alternator, and I said, how much can you do it for? Anyway, I got it for 145 quid, including the VAT. To be honest, when I looked at it, it was 189. But either way, they give you a bit of a discount. So 145 quid I've got this alternator for, which I don't think is a terrible price considering the price that everyone else wants for them. Could have bought one off eBay for about 20, 30 quid cheaper. But then you've got the hassle of sending it back, and you know, if it's wrong, if there's anything wrong with it, I'd rather just pay the extra, I think. So let's get to stripping it.
Step 1. Safety first. Disconnect the battery to prevent any electrical mishaps. Begin by locating the battery, typically found near the engine bay, and then loosening the nut on the negative terminal. Then carefully remove the negative cable. Step 2. Locate the auxiliary bolt and tensioner pulley.
So what I tend to do, a little bit old school with that, is draw it out if I can see it. And it's literally just draw circles and then show which way the belt goes. So the piece of paper, I don't know if you can see down there. I need 3 hands, you know, to do this YouTube stuff. You got the crank pulley, and then down there, you got the aircon pulley, and what looks to be possibly a water pump or something. So I'll draw them 3. You got the crank, big one to the right of it, which I think is your aircon, and then a water pump somewhere around here. And you've got our alternator above it, and an idler next to that. So you've got an idler quite close to, oh, that actually might be the tensioner. Another one here, and then this top one, which is your power steering pump. So the belt goes from the power steering pump down to the alternator. So you link them two, and it goes across to the water pump, and then back around the aircon. So it goes across this. I think it's a water pump anyway, I might be wrong. And then at the bottom, goes straight across the bottom, round the crank, round, I think it's the tensioner, and then back around there. So we know it goes across there, round there, and up there. So there's your belt diagram. Now I will write on it CS crankshaft. This one's AC. I think this one's water pump. I'm not sure. I think that's the tensioner. That's the alternator. And this one's power steering. So, that there, quick diagram. Crankshaft, aircon, water pump, alternator, power steering, tensioner. That way you can't go wrong. It took me, what, 2 minutes to do that. And I know it's right. So, I'll leave that to one side and carry on taking bits off.
The tensioner pulley is crucial for removing the belt from the alternator. Use a spanner or specialized tool to release tension and slide the belt off the alternator pulley.
We're now looking at this. I think it's actually the tensioner that's making the noise, but the alternator is definitely not working. So that's the noise, but it doesn't explain why it's not charging. So it must have two problems.
Right guys, so we've just noticed the tensioner needs to be replaced as well. We've had a quick look online on GSF and we've noticed they're 130 quid. But Andy's realised it's just the bearing inside the tensioner that needs to be replaced. So for 5 quid, he's gone and replaced that, and that sorted the problem right out.
Back in the hole, it's seated properly, so it's all the way to the back. Put it back on there. Oh, it's like brand new.
Right, so that's that sorted. Now let's get back to the alternator. Step 3. Now let's tackle the electrical connections.
Right. See down there? See that? That's why you've got to take off the back of the alternator, and then you've got the big main live. You're not going to be able to see it because it's in a rubbish place. You're not going to get a good view of this.
Take your time to disconnect each one and consider labeling them for easy reassembly. Step 4. It's bolt time. Use your sock and wrench to loosen and remove the mounting bolts holding the alternator in place. Keep these bolts in a safe place. You'll need them for the new alternator installation.
You can just about see them there. 2 of them. So you've got to get them 2 out. Once them 2 are free, your alternator will be loose, and then all I've got then is the power supply on the back, which has obviously got no supply because I've took the battery off. So undo that, and then your alternator will be loose and out, but whether I can get it out the hole will be that'll be another fight. So I'm just going to undo these 2 bolts because I can't even hold you here like this while I do it. And then I'll put the camera back on and show you. Right, the alternator is now loose.
Step 5. With the bolts removed, carefully extract the old alternator from its housing. It might require a bit of maneuvering due to tight spaces, but patience is key here. Step 6. Take a moment to inspect the new alternator before installation. Ensure that it matches the specifications of your vehicle and that all necessary components are included.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's a 7 rib belt.
Step 7. Position the new alternator in place and align it with the mounting points.
So the alternator's back in the hole now. I've dropped the engine down and I'm just going to tighten this engine mount back up. There's at least 5 ugga-duggas pairing up there. So, alternator's in the hole. Gonna get that finished getting bolted up.
Once aligned, start threading the mounting bolts back in and tighten them securely.
Right, back from having my haircut. The alternator's all bolted back on now. So before, I only had the bolts to tighten up. I've tightened them on. As you can see, the shiny new part down there.
Step 8. Time to re-establish those electrical connections. Reconnect the power cable and any sensors or plugs to the new alternator. Double check each connection to guarantee a snug fit.
So it's all tightened on. I've put the live wire on it, so that's on, and the electrical connector block thing. Now that's on, we've just got to sort the tensioner out. Right, so that's the alternator on. The bearing is in the tensioner, so the new bearing's in, and the tensioner's fitted to the engine. So now we just need to get the belt back on, and that problem sorted, and then it's just build everything back up. Get the power steering pump back on first.
Step 9. Carefully guide the auxiliary belt back into place, ensuring it follows the correct routing patterns as outlined in our diagram we made earlier or in your car's manual. Then utilize the tensioner pulley to apply tension and secure the belt onto the alternator pulley.
Oh, it's increased. Right, so now that the belt's on, you need to check that the belt's sitting on all the ribs right. Yeah, it's sat on the alternator right. I know it's sat on the bottom too all right. The tension and water pump are smooth because it runs on the back of the belt. So yeah, it's on. Right, so now we've literally got to put all the other stuff back on. I'm going to put this bracket back on, get all the engine bay built up, and then I'm just going to chuck the under tray on off camera because you don't really want to see that.
Step 10. We're almost there. Reconnect the battery by attaching the positive and negative cables. And finally, tighten the nut securely to prevent any loose connections. And voila, we've successfully replaced the alternator in our Honda CRV 2.2 or any other car model you might own. By mastering this essential skill, you're not only saving money, but you also gain confidence in your ability to tackle DIY car maintenance. Remember to dispose of your old alternator responsibly.
Right, so there we have it. The car's done. My little sister will be made up, and a few of you might learn how to do an alternator on a CRV. But like you say, this is a trial thing. If you've liked it, don't forget to let us know in the comments. Even if you haven't liked it, let us know. But if you subscribed and you didn't like it, don't unsubscribe, because we'll still be doing the builds and it teaches people a few things. So yeah, let us know what you think to them. But like I say, if you liked it, don't forget to subscribe, like, leave us a comment. And like I said, we might be giving a little Blue Point kit away soon as we hit 20,000 subscribers. One of them there, well, it'll be a brand new set. Yeah, so if you've liked the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave us a comment. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Thanks for watching.